In a shocking twist within the royal family, King Charles, now the monarch, allegedly issued an ultimatum to Catherine, the Princess of Wales, as part of a calculated act of revenge tied to Camilla. This moment not only shook the foundations of the royal household, but revealed the intricate power plays happening behind palace doors. What drove Charles to such a drastic decision? What did Catherine do to warrant such a stern warning from the king himself? Let's uncover the truth behind this royal confrontation and its far-reaching consequences for the future of the monarchy. The British royal family has always been a blend of duty, tradition, and personal ambition. However, beneath the surface, the relationships within the House of Windsor are often far more complex than they appear. When Charles ascended the throne, he carried with him decades of personal struggles, long simmering tensions, and unresolved wounds, many of which revolved around his wife Camilla. As king, Charles sought to solidify his authority and ensure Camilla's place within the royal narrative. But not everyone within the royal family saw eye to eye with his vision, especially Catherine, the ever-popular Princess of Wales. Catherine has been a shining star in the monarchy for years, capturing the public's admiration with her grace, poise, and dedication to her role. Married to William, the heir to the throne, she has represented a modern yet respectful image of royalty. However, her growing influence and undeniable popularity haven't always sat well with Charles, especially as he sought to elevate Camilla in the public eye. This clash of royal priorities came to a head when Charles reportedly delivered an ultimatum to Catherine, one that left the royal family reeling. The tension between Charles and Catherine didn't begin overnight. For years, there had been subtle signs of a growing rift between them, rooted in their differing approaches to royal life. Catherine, with her polished image and family-focused approach, had become a beacon of stability and modernity for the monarchy. Meanwhile, Charles, who had spent decades battling public scrutiny over his relationship with Camilla, was determined to ensure that his wife received the respect and recognition he felt she deserved. This dynamic created an underlying competition between Catherine's growing popularity and Camilla's position as queen consort. The tipping point came when Charles reportedly felt that Catherine was overshadowing Camilla, both in the public sphere and within the family. Despite his best efforts to establish Camilla as a beloved figure, the public's admiration for Catherine continued to dominate headlines. Royal watchers noted that at public engagements, Catherine's presence often drew more attention than Camilla's, a fact that didn't go unnoticed by the king. For Charles, this wasn't just about personal feelings. It was about securing Camilla's legacy and solidifying her role in the royal family. It was during a private family meeting at Buckingham Palace that Charles reportedly confronted Catherine with an ultimatum. His message was clear. She needed to realign her focus and step back from overshadowing Camilla. According to insiders, Charles was emotional but firm, emphasizing that Camilla's role as queen consort needed to be respected and supported by every member of the royal family, including Catherine. This wasn't a simple request. It was a direct order from the king, and it sent shockwaves through the family. For Catherine, the ultimatum was deeply unsettling. She had spent years carefully crafting her role within the monarchy, always balancing tradition with modernity. To be asked to dial back her public presence and essentially take a step behind Camilla was not only a blow to her personally, but also a challenge to her vision for the monarchy's future. As the mother of the next generation of royals, Catherine had always prioritized a relatable and approachable image, one that resonated with younger audiences. To suddenly scale back her efforts felt counterintuitive to everything she had worked for. But Charles wasn't backing down. To him, this wasn't just about personal grievances. It was about power and legacy. After years of fighting for Camilla's acceptance, he was determined to ensure that his wife was recognized and respected as queen consort. Charles saw Catherine's growing popularity as a threat to that mission, and in his eyes, issuing an ultimatum was the only way to restore balance within the family. It was a calculated move, one that underscored his newfound authority as king and his willingness to make difficult decisions, even if it meant confronting one of the most beloved members of the royal family. The fallout from Charles's ultimatum was immediate. Behind closed doors, tensions between Charles and William reportedly flared. William, fiercely protective of his wife, was said to be deeply upset by his father's approach. For years, William and Catherine had been working tirelessly to modernize the monarchy and connect with the public in a way that felt authentic and relatable. To have those efforts undermined by an internal power struggle was both frustrating and disheartening. Meanwhile, Camilla found herself in an awkward position. While she appreciated Charles's efforts to support her, the backlash within the family made it clear that the king's ultimatum had created more problems than it solved. Camilla had always been aware of the public's mixed feelings toward her, and the last thing she wanted was to become the center of a family feud. Yet, as queen consort, she couldn't ignore the significance of Charles's decision to prioritize her role. The public's reaction to the rumored ultimatum was equally telling. While many admired Catherine for her grace and dedication, others saw the situation as a reflection of the monarchy's ongoing struggles to adapt to modern times. Charles's decision to issue an ultimatum was seen by some as a step backward, a reminder of the rigid hierarchy that has long defined the royal family. For others, it was a stark reminder of the challenges that come with balancing tradition and progress within an institution as old and complex as the British monarchy. The weeks turned into months. The royal family worked to present a united front, but the cracks were impossible to ignore. Catherine continued to fulfill her royal duties with the same poise and dedication she always had, but there was a noticeable shift in her public appearances. She was more cautious, more measured, as if navigating a delicate tightrope between supporting the monarchy and maintaining her own identity. Charles, too, appeared more reserved in his interactions with William and Catherine, a sign that the ultimatum had left a lasting impact on their relationship. Yet, despite the tension, one thing was clear: the royal family was at a crossroads. Charles's decision to issue an ultimatum to Catherine wasn't just about Camilla. It was about the future of the monarchy itself. In a world that is constantly changing, the royals are faced with the challenge of balancing tradition with the demands of modernity. For Charles, ensuring Camilla's place within the royal narrative was a priority, but for Catherine, the focus was on building a monarchy that resonated with future generations. So, what happens next? Will Catherine continue to walk the tightrope, or will she push back against the king's ultimatum and assert her vision for the monarchy's future? And what does this power struggle mean for the relationship between Charles and William, a bond that has already been tested by years of family drama? One thing is certain: the British royal family is far from ordinary, and every decision made within its walls carries consequences that ripple far beyond Buckingham Palace. But the most intriguing question remains: was Charles's ultimatum to Catherine a calculated move to protect Camilla, or was it a sign of deeper insecurities within the monarchy? Only time will reveal the true motivations behind this royal confrontation and the impact it will have on the family's legacy. And as the world watches, one can't help but wonder what other secrets lie hidden behind the gilded doors of the royal palace.